Hi, wonderful viewers of Mission and Ministry Sylvester. You are welcome to another episode of Real Brokers having a very situation that varies so much in our daily lives and in this time of reality, the most manifestative era where we see what we say and where we touch it also as we also perceive it. Now, this is most very important and it playing a crucial role in this very adventure. I would have a very simple caption that would take us through a little while a conversation we're going to hold on Isaiah 46. And we'll be looking at any other verses. Yes, let's code very well and see if anything that we have here also is showing very well. As we'll be talking about ravenous birds. Ravenous birds. That means we have a very situation that would not fail. We have to derive something very most important from these very scriptures. Do stay tuned and we'll take you through right now what we mean and what the scripture really holds for our daily lives right now. We've been looking at birds and birds. Who are the kind of people who actually connect or have a connection with birds? Why you talk about birds? But birds should be very important when it comes to symbolism and role that they play in the life of persons, especially for guidance. And that when you see a particular bird, they have a special visitation and assignment or a message they carry. So those messages come from what? Angels or spirits, and they are symbolizes spiritism. Yes. Or you can put it in this conversation that they are symbolic in meaning. They hold so much. So I will only put it in that way of the conversation as we won't stay long and we'll be driving maybe faster than you want to think now. So let's go right on our board and make it happen. What we want to say about this very scripture. Well, we're getting ready. Everything is set, but we just have to hold a little while. Yeah. So to stay and pick up your pen. I don't want to talk so much, even touching the system is already getting myself changed to something else. But that tells you real spirit. So we heal and heal and heal. What do we heal? You only heal what the Lord heals. You cannot just heal anything. So I don't function in that area where you want to talk about need without having the right to supplying you the need. It's only when it concerns the Lord and His word that I can talk about His need for healing. They'll watch out carefully also many other things that would be claiming that they are the ones broadcasting what I'm saying. For I didn't even know how the guidance came. Yes, that's first thing. To even understand how things happen and what brought about this very topic. It's only myself and the situation. And I also want to take this moment to tell you someone very special that I have not created any account in my name or in any way to asking for money, donations, or having any orphanage that demands anything whatsoever that will be to the account of something else other than myself. Now I made my thing so professional that if I need money, I speak, I say it live whilst I'm on what? On the channel. Displaying or talking about the most important things that life touching and giving is when I'm alive. You can do nothing to also place me when I'm not living. But I have also not created any language or any form of dialect or any page that displays any other images than myself. So you have everything showing that whilst I'm alive and on live stream that I can ask for anything that I need for support. If you don't do this, you have done nothing. If you also invest in the things that give life, you haven't done it for me, or you haven't done it to the Lord. I'm the only one who can host the best of the things. So let's talk about these scriptures. They mean so much and very important role they play. Now let's take verse 6. Isaiah 46, verse 6. It says what? The lavish or the lavish gold out of what? The bag, and weigh silver in the balance, and hire a goldsmith, and he maketh it a god. So without wasting time on looking for what is a god, we just come across what? God. Out of what? God created out of what? Out of gold and balance or silver balance. Then we see what is a god. So when we tell you that maybe God has not created any human being, then they should not have any doubt. You have no doubt, as they now show you what have been made a god and how they made it a god and claim it a god. So to have it as a real creator, there should be what? Existence. If you take any creature or anything that have been created by a person or a spirit and you call it a god, it's like you are just trying to mimic the true God or creator, the real spirit. You don't have respect for it, but that you would rather use a thing that represents him to cause his downfall or tarnish his image with whatever you think pleases you. That is your own law or rule. So to continue quickly, and they fall down, yea, they worship. This is straightforward, so I don't need to explain anything about it. Now in verse 8, it says what? Verse 8 says, remember this, and show yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. So you transgressors, you have been reminded of what you do. Those of you who do things in opposite to what the Lord may be commanding or instructing his people. To say you know very well what is important. If to do anything that is wayward or on opposite, tells that you don't respect God or the Creator. I don't want us to say it is a God. Once you have it, a smaller version of it, we don't have to even name it God. So what do you say is God? I have already defined on my channel what is a God. So we won't say God. Just look at the Creator or the Spirit of the generation in dimension or dominion. Then in verse 10 says that declaring, this is very important, that if the Lord actually call a man or appoint any angel to this world or any world in advance, he would only make this known to you from the beginning. So you pass through the end before reaching the end. So in the beginning, you will see what is at the end. So you won't enter this era and claim that the Lord did send you, that you don't know what is in the end. Now, if somebody tells you in the end that you would not be forgiven anything, that is the end. That is the result. Very well, that if you do the right thing now, your expectation in the end should be that he has promised that he will give you good reward. But if you sin anywhere today and you ask for forgiveness or sin through mercies of the Lord, you are still not forgiven, because your end is to be given that reward for doing the wrong thing. So it says what? Declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done. So from ancient times, what were some of the things that were not yet established? Like we have the satellite vehicles, all of that. Things that you actually didn't have as a common thing to display. But until we came into this real being of flesh, nobody could create those things. Like having mobile phone and simple things that we can use, that we call it technology. So don't let people convert technology importance to what does not actually profit the scripture or the Lord who creates. Let's look at one thing. If we created, or if we happen to be on this earth and I don't see the importance of being on earth, what glory do I give? It is not important to me. That's what I'll say. Or it does not feed me. But you would also see it in the opposite, that is against you, or maybe it's against the creator. But that is not. I'm giving my true testimony that I am a true one, knowing that this is what I'm going through. So you may be eating and satisfying with all things, but that doesn't mean that you've also even served the purpose in life. So don't just quickly judge, but you have to understand quickly. And then slow in judgment means that you analyze what you hear or listen or see, that you can really say you are a part of it, you know it, not that someone says or somebody says. So declaring the earned from the beginning and from what? Ancient times, the things that are not yet done. So what were you thinking that even if you should have it written in the New Testament that you haven't done yet from ancient times? What were those things? Christ didn't see those things in real flesh. What we have now, that they didn't have. That's all that you were actually what? Being told here that they didn't have, even though they needed to create or have access to those things. So it was a level of different spirituality that will make those things happen. So he did his very best. But to have all these things known as is from glory to glory, they exist. How do they exist? When you think or imagine it, it means that is the time. Now you work on it. So continue saying, and it says what? Saying, my counsel shall stand. Some of these things, previously, they didn't stand. Anytime it was coming up, they cut it off. You were told that most of the prophet being cut off and righteous and all of that. But this time around is different. So these are some of the things that did not have a stand in the ancient times. Like you could not build maybe or put up certain structures or story to a certain level that you were told only have it as a tent. All these things now you see it being established. And what is it saying again? And he, the Lord, will do what? Will do all his pleasure. What are the pleasures of the Lord? When he have it established or when it's established, when his plans have been filled, when his counsel stands, when his true judgment is established. These are the things that he finds his pleasures in. Now verse 11 says that calling a ravenous bird from the east. You see how he's counsel stands and have it, then he can call a ravenous bird from the east. And what happens? The men that executed counsel from a far country, yea, he have spoken it. So what is execution? To bring out or to make out of something that he did say it, and then after saying it, you see it happen, or you see a man actually carrying out this task. That let's say he says he's calling. So to have it calling a ravenous bird from the east, you don't know it yet. But when you now have a man or a creature that is able to call, and relatively the words as you in the real manifestation, that's what it means. To say it and then you see it. So that the man that executed his counsel from a far distance or far country, that to be in this country, Accra, Ghana, and then talking to maybe US. And they are probably doing something there that I'm also looking at and is working. And that we would like to also have it maybe established here. Or having something working here that will establish over there. Yea, he the Lord had spoken it. And what would he do? He said, and he will also He will also bring it to pass. That he has purposed it. So it's a purpose. He did not just talk about it, he did not just think it, but it's a purpose that it will also do it. That he will also do it. Now in verse 1 that is 12 says, hearken unto him, ye stout-hearted, that are far from righteousness. So all this will go as an advice to those of you who don't know what is righteousness. When you pass your righteousness through any medium or channel or religion, it doesn't make you a righteous person, unless the Spirit is with you that beareth witness to whatever you are doing. You can only be righteous when it's approved of by a saint or a holy one or angel. And angels are saints. They are connected to what? They are connected to the Lord. And spiritually, physical. That when we say a word now, you only have to see the word manifest, the reality. When I say fair, you have to see fair. When I say any color, you have to see it. That is the reality of the word. That it should not be red, but made or created. So if you are in the reality of, you say it and then get it. Now in 13 it says what? And he will bring what? He will bring near his righteousness. So where is the righteousness of the Lord coming from? He will draw near. Then you may see it. You can touch it. You can talk about it. But if I don't see any of these things that the Bible or the Creator or the Spirit is saying in it, I cannot give any account of true account that it is working. But until it's working, so I may see some part of it working and others not working or yet to work, because I have so many prophecies and confirmation of things that bigger than even the scripture. I'm telling you. And what next? It shall not be far off. So what he's saying should be very close or near or right before my own eyes. I am seeing it. That's what it should be. And his what? And his salvation shall not tarry. What do you mean tarry? I hope you know what is tarry. I don't think we have to even talk about it again. Pick your dictionary and talk about it. Either you wait or you could not wait. It's just a word that is talking about how to keep on or holding something or hanging on something. That is all it is. And he will do what? He will place salvation in a place that we call glory now. So this name, where is Zion? He would always talk about a lady or female or daughters of Zion. So when they mention Zion, you should know that he's talking about what? Women or his special or seed. That is all it means Zion. I will bring the Lord into place. His pleasure. His pleasure is what brings his desire. So, thank you so much, because it's about this is very bad. You don't. I'm directing you, and for most of you, you don't. Then he says inaccurate, or he says for the enemy who, and that's so amazing. Yeah, it's really amazing to have it established like that, but I'm not. So come out, any one of you that is kind of manipulating this channel, I command you by the authority of the heavenly sword, by this hour of what? Praise, hour of what? Declaration, by 1, 2, 37. We got 37 in Ghana here. So that 37 is an achievement. And I end the broadcast right here in that faith that this broadcast is now configured and dwelling in the most high, powerful name of the Lord, and the Lord that is light. Not as most people declare and condemn things. We'll be right after this moment, whilst we go on end, maybe another session or episode of this description will come back to life.